Welcome to Stadium Unplugged with me, Jamin, and if you're not too familiar with our series, it's where I sit down with a global sports icon to find out who they really are, in their own words, outside the sport that made them famous. Today I'm talking to the first Manchester City captain to lift a Premier League title with the club since the English game's top tier was renamed. His accomplishments resulted in him being honoured as the 2011-12 League Player of the Season. This man also led the celebrations when City were victorious in the 2010-2011 FA Cup. Subsequently, the Belgian international was voted Player of the Year by the club's supporters and his own peers. Prior to his move to Manchester, he had already won the Belgian First Division title twice with Anderlecht. Success continued to follow him when he moved to the German Bundesliga, as he played an instrumental role in Hamburg's 2007 UEFA Intertoto Cup. If you don't already know, I'm talking about Vincent Kompany. Welcome to Stadium Unplugged. We're going to start with the one that everyone's talking about. First captain to have won the Premier League with Manchester City. Now, how do you feel about that one?
I feel great.
Yeah.
Feels like a good accomplishment, and we've worked really hard for it, so it feels even better because of that.
Now, I hear that you were an active kid. You were in almost every sport, and you were also a scout among other things from football. Was that true?
Yeah, well, every sport I was doing athletics, so by definition you do maybe 10 disciplines, and I was doing them all, and then yeah, I was in the scouts as well, but football took the. I decided I was going to play on. I was going to focus on football when I was around 13, 14 years old.
Okay. Why football as opposed to all the other things that you were playing? You just thought you were better? Or?
It was my passion. To be honest, my father comes from a football background, but my mother always preferred me to do some other sports because I was very physical and quite aggressive, and my mother liked another side to me. Okay. But I chose for football because it was just my passion.
Looking at you now, physical and aggressive, you're like the most gentle giant. So that lot has happened since then, of course.
No, basically,
okay.
A lot of people say that when they meet me, and I do try to. That's the way I've been raised by my parents. But on the pitch, things change, and I'm a winner, so I just want to win.
Your siblings play football as well. So was that also a key reason why you managed to get a lot of that in that family? Playing football and
yeah, well, I guess it was in the family. I mean, we used to play football with my grandfather. Then we played football with our father, and we played football together between brothers and with the friends. So it's always been a big part of the whole family.
Okay. Speaking of family, your dad is from Congo. Of course, you were born in Belgium. Have you had the opportunity to go back?
Yeah, I go back every year.
Yeah.
And mostly related again to charity work, but I just enjoy being there because it's part of the blood that's running through my veins, and I take great pride of it. Yeah.
Do you remember your first visit back? What was it like?
Yeah, very much. It was a shock. It's I didn't grow up in a particularly privileged area in Brussels, but still, if you compare to the hardship you can see in Africa and where I was then in Congo, is completely different situation. And actually, the first time I actually set a foot in Congo, it was by going through the border with Rwanda. So you got to see everything that happened as well with the genocide, and so it was a very very shocking encounter the first time. But you either love it or hate it, and I loved it.
And hence going back every year. So now, of course, you do a lot with Congo, where charity is concerned.
Yeah, very much.
Is there one that sticks out in your mind that?
It's just, well, 5 years ago, the first time I went there, we went to then was back to the capital, and we went to visit some grounds and with the charity I support, which is SOS Children Villages, and they decided to have me as an ambassador to build a new village, a brand new village for 150 kids, orphans, and which was going to give medical care to over 50,000 people a year. And 5 years later, 6 years later actually, now we just opened the village now, and it's an incredible achievement because I started it when I was about 20 years old. So yeah, again, I like to do those kind of things, and it's a priority as much as football is.
Okay, and from a very young age, it seems like.
Yeah, but I think if I could have done it earlier, I would have done it earlier, but you just wait and see and try to find your way. You know, the people that will hang on the most to you, those are the ones you will follow. And when I found SOS, I thought they were a great organization, and I linked everything I was doing charity-wise with them because it was a huge potential.
Okay. Now, let's take you back to 13 again. So 13, seriously, you wanted to do football. Were there any people that you look up to and you said, okay, this is the person that I look up to my whole life, and that will be...
Yeah, my dad used to show me videos of Pele. Don't know if you... Yeah, well, yeah. But
you think I don't know Pele?
Well, you never know. It's a lifestyle interview, right? So I don't know. But other than that, the ones I was watching on TV, obviously that were still active, were Marcel Desailly, and then Patrick Vieira, which I ended up playing with. So it just shows to say that, you know, anybody watching this interview right now in the same age, they could you know, they could have that same dream come true.
How did that feel though, playing beside someone that you know always looked up to?
I think the first few moments are a bit awkward, but actually not playing, meeting the person. But then after, when you play, you just come into a different zone. And I mean, I've played with a lot of people that were a lot more recognizable than I was. But my natural instinct takes the lead, and you know, I will shout at that person as much as I can if he does something wrong.
So it doesn't matter if he's your idol or not, he's gonna get it.
From that moment, it doesn't matter anymore. But before, it's just, and especially you meet that most of the great people and most of the great sportsmen are also great persons. And I think the one goes together with the other. A lot of the views you get in the newspapers aren't really what the reality is about. So you do meet a lot of great persons, and you do make friends for life in football.
We're just getting started. Up next.
It was the hardest year of my life, but also obviously the year where I've learned the most. I've been in a job where you get between 50 and 100,000 people every single time putting pressure on you, and then you're supposed to have a lot of responsibilities, but